Up this week, I've taken the Bolognese to the next level. This is my chicken Bolognese done in a beautiful red wine and chocolate sauce. Chocolate? Chocolate? What? Yeah, it's good. Okay, so the basis of a Bolognese, it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. We're gonna make a really simple meal pie, or as the Italians would use, a sofrito, which is basically onion, carrot, celery. We're gonna put some tomato paste through there. Then I'm gonna play about with a few little basic flavors. So, pan up to heat. Second pan, we're gonna get on with some boiling water. I'm gonna heavily season that, please. So, a good amount of salt. And then into that, we're gonna add enough pasta for a couple of people. Using whole wheat. Pan is coming up nice and hot. Into there, we're gonna add a good splash of oil. Okay, so for the basis of this, I'm gonna use 1 onion, and we're gonna literally just roughly chop this. It doesn't need to be too neat and tidy. We're gonna add our onion straight into there. Drop the heat on that slightly. We wanna get colour on the onions, but we don't want these to brown or go burnt. So just a nice medium temperature going through there. Just keeping that so it just warms through nicely. You get a nice sort of golden brown on there. And you're just gonna roughly chop up half a stick of celery, 1 carrot, and that can go straight into the pan. So traditionally, you'd usually use something like a minced beef. I want to try and make this a higher protein and a lower fat. So we've got carbs going in there and a decent protein. So we're going to be using chicken breast. And for this, instead of going to get this mince, you're going to chop it slightly different. You're going to use your knife as closely as possible, and you're going to literally just really, really roughly just go up and down and hardly move the chicken breast through the knife at all. And then you get this, little tiny bits, almost like minced chicken. That can go straight into the pan. Now for measurements wise on this, you're using about 1 chicken breast per person. And you're just gonna do exactly the same again with the other breast. And all of that can go straight into your pan. Good stir around. We've got 2 cloves of garlic. And that can go straight in as well. We've got some cherry tomatoes, and literally just chop them in half, about 8 or 9 of these. I think Bolognese is that recipe which everyone, when they leave home, it's kind of the one thing that you definitely know how to cook. I don't know if it's sort of like mums or dads always teach it from sort of like, that's the first recipe to learn. For me it was. It's the first thing that my mum actually taught me, bless her soul. We're gonna add a tablespoon of tomato paste. And then herb-wise, there's loads of things you can use on this. I'm gonna use 3 different types. I'm gonna use some basil, some oregano, and then some rosemary. So just literally half a sprig of rosemary. You don't want too much in there because it's quite a strong, powerful herb. But you wanna get that basil through there. And you're just gonna really finely chop that up. And that can go straight in as well. Already you start to get that glorious smell from the herbs itself, the tomato, the garlic. And now we can introduce the main lot of tomatoes. So I've got myself a 400-gram tin of chopped tomatoes. And over here, we've got a glass of red wine. Now it's essential that red wine is served in a 1930s Art Deco glass, like this one. That's all I had. That can go straight in. And then to offset some of that acidity that we're going to have from the chopped tomatoes and the red wine itself, we're going to use just a little bit of stock. So just a regular beef stock, one of these, that can go straight in. And then we're going to add about 175 millilitres of boiling water. Soften it down with that stock, and that's going to give it its real punchy flavour. So you can see there, it is thickened up to a perfect bolognese sauce. Now this is the bit that's going to throw you slightly. As I do with my chili con carne, I'm going to add 2 pieces of dark chocolate. This is 90%, and that's really going to make this absolutely full-bodied flavour. Try it, trust me, it works, an absolute treat. I've done it in chili con carne for the last 10 or 15 years, and it's always just giving it that extra bit of sort of smoothness to the sauce. Now look at that. Look how much that has changed that sauce just from those 2 bits of chocolate. It's now thick and glossy, it's got a shine to it, and it is packed full of flavour. So we're gonna grab ourselves a plate and we're gonna serve this one up. Now we've got our spaghetti, a good amount of our bolognese just over the top. If you do make this one, because it's an old mum's recipe, I wanna hear your feedback and what you think. It is a great alternative, I can promise you, you're gonna really like it. And then we can't finish that off without Parmesan cheese just over the tops. And that is my chicken bolognese. And I can tell you, that is packed full of more flavour than any standard bolognese. It's the best bolognese out there. I promise you, it's the best bolognese out there. So get recreating this one, and if you do, you know the drill. Hashtag me as Haste Kitchen as always, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye-bye.